So the eagle took the boy before the gates of the great canyon, ascending up to his seat on his plinth. He eyed the boy with his sharp eyes and told him thus: "Here lies the gates to the great canyon, the jaws of my wisdom. None but the wisest and most brave will come beyond this point. Those who seek my abode falsely owe to me what is mine by right, and I will break their bones against the rocks as a beast. Beyond these jaws you will find the spring of possibilities. May you bathe in it cleanly and without defiling yourself. You will find that great unchanging path amongst the rocks that will lead you wherever you choose. If you wish to proceed, step into this square." The boy stepped forward, into the square within a square that was marked on the ground below. "Very well," said the eagle. "I give you 3 riddles, a 3-part key to wisdom. Pass, and you will have unlocked the gate to my wisdom." And as the eagle spoke, dark clouds rolled in across the blankets of the sky, and fierce thunder rumbled through the body of the boy. Redirecting his focus back towards the child, the eagle began to speak. "My armor raises many chins high. I form the drum of every ear that man has. A sickly pride infects those who seek me. I am all that the vain know at heart. What am I?" "Humility," cried the boy. "Before now, I have only been found instantly. My pulse creates all highest hopes and takes them away. Everything I see is a ring. I can only be found in the smallest cave that there is. What am I?" "Infinity," cried the boy. "I am what creates the one. I dance beyond the fingertips of even the wisest hermits. War is my most precious gift to man. All the glory in the cosmos is owed to me. What am I?" "Multiplicity," cried the boy. "The 3-part key is truly yours, bright child," continued the eagle. "Before I let you through these gates, you must first answer me thus. To whom will you draw your sword, and where do you seek to go?" "To whoever leaves me bored, and that's for only me to know." And the boy skipped from the square within the square and strolled through the jaws of the great canyon, marveling at the mysteries of the cliffs and at the shifting path that danced in front of him. The eagle watched wryly from his plinth, disguising a small grin in the corner of his mouth as the boy passed below him. And so the boy began the long walk along his own winding path, still sheltered by the cliffs. Upon the cliff faces were many stone carvings from sepia-tinted days. The first of these carvings on the path was the head of a fierce lion, who was said to have been the very first tamed by man. Then came the carving of a great dragon head and a strange 4-faced man. Nights threatened ambush and strange invasions onto the boy's path, but he had found himself ice-cold light slugs that would warn off foreign predators in the night. Eventually, after a long journey down his serpentine path, he found the ibis head, carved in glory and beauty, one of the greatest stoneworks the land had ever known. Suddenly the rocky terrain burst into fields of dazzling flora and wildlife, and the boy could hear the trickling of fresh water among the grasshoppers chirping. A crow squawked and flew over him from behind. The boy stirred himself up and paced down through the towering reeds to the river banking, where he stumbled across an old man, filling up his wooden bowl from the stream. "Hello, old man. I wish not to startle you. I have arrived here from a long and treacherous journey without food nor water. This land is plentiful. Please do not anger if I encroach upon it to gather what I need to continue. What brings you to this strange foreign world, that you are here where no man should be?" "I live here," replied the old man. "My house is near to here. Join me tonight and accept my hospitality, that you may be fed and rested for your journey. But you are right. No man should be here, and I am no exception. What have you come here to seek?" "Wisdom," replied the boy. "Teacher of wisdom I shall be unto you. Join me now and let us feast." So the boy joined the old man for a feast of plentiful meats and sweet fruits, along with strange flavours and combinations unknown to the common man. The boy marvelled at the tales the man told him, tales of his great ingenuity that had helped him out of difficult situations, tales of brutal wars from times beyond the comprehension of the boy. "How have you become this well equipped, that you may fight as warrior of the earth?" questioned the boy. "Many nights have I wrestled with the cobwebs of earth, Many days I have stared into the sun and seen the axis of day, the clockwork that strikes its bell through the rhythm of the earth. I have seen strange sun astrologers before, frenzied and blind by their delusion, quibbled the boy. I am not like these astrologers of the sun you speak of. The sun is a great engine, and its processions do ripple through the cosmos in ways strange to man. Those who cannot see inside the sun without frenzy go blind and grow as withered plants. But to those who are unmoved by all forces, they will see the clockwork staircase, ascending infinitely upwards. You have learned by now, young boy, to travel many an infinite ladder. So spoke the wise one, with words heavy as the densest metals. The boy replied, I cannot thank you enough, wise man, for the knowledge you have given me this evening. I must repay you in whatever way I may be able to. You have repaid me enough, child, for I should not be in these lands here at all, and it is you that is keeping me in here. How so? Queried the boy, and without saying another word, the old man stood and left the room. A few seconds passed and he returned, holding a bright orange orchid, dazzling with beauty and elegance. This is my orchid, exclaimed the child. How have you come into possession of such a thing, that I lost tearfully years ago? How have you known to show it to me, old man? The wise man sat down with a smile and a grimace. This is the flower I plucked from the stream many years ago, child. In fact, I have come to these lands in search of such a flower, back from stranger lands, so that I may come to meet and speak with you. My crows allowed me to reach you up on your high mountain. So it was your crow that claimed this flower from me. It is your doing that I lost the beauty of my childhood and lived in darkness for years, snapped the boy, angrily. Yes, do not anger yourself before me and before your own ears reach understanding, child. You see, I should not be in these lands, but one day in ages eons forgotten, this land was black and barren. Drought plagued every corner of this land, and a great evil festered here. This evil stirred up its own canyons of dread and despair, trying to rally its black mountains so high that they would engulf the sun. When I said I should not be here, I meant what I said. You look like a younger version of myself, young child. The land was only saved when great rains came down upon the earth, but these rains have not fallen yet. You must take this orchid and find the tree on the hill. You must sit there among its roots and fast without food or water, until in times long past you have made it rain. Otherwise, your orchid will never have grown in the first place. You give me an impossible task, the boy said, shocked. All the wise man could do was nod, and he left the boy for the night. At dawn the next morning, the boy readied himself up and set off with dread in his heart. He reached the tree by afternoon and sat in the hollows of its great roots to shut his eyes. He remained fixated through the gnawing cold, the hazy thoughts of thirst and the sharp stings of stomach pain from lack of food. Slowly the cobwebs began to bind his body to the tree and suffocate. Time began drawing into one. He felt the words of the tree being spoken into his spine, telling him of the great wars through the ages, how this tree was the only one that remained unsinged through the great wildfires. Time continued to draw into one. Pain faded and became ecstasy, and all that remained was the boy and his orchid. All that remained were the powerful winds of the boy's spirit, and he began flinging his spirit back and forth violently, whipping up a great storm in times unknown. His spirit rose higher and higher still, until the clashing lightning deafened his eardrums. He rose higher still, and began to see fresh meadows with ripe fruits. He saw himself surrounded by love and bliss. Finally his soul relented, and all that was left was a great stillness. Then the rains fell, torrentially. The boy's joy howled through the air, and the land gasped for the rainfall. In the storms of his joy, his orchid flew across the plains, past the cascading river that was tumbling down the mountain, upwards and upwards until it came to settle in the shelter of a dark cave, long forgotten by sunlight.